Suprabhatam to all of you. Today I will read about the importance of Durga Puja and its history with Ramakrishna mission. As Durga Puja is approaching us, we would like to share the importance of Ma in our lives, in the society as well. What is the mythological basis of Durga Puja? Several mythological legends have commingled to form the basis of Durga Puja. These are mentioned below. Before fighting Ravana, Sri Ramachandra was advised by Narada to propitiate Devi Durga. According to Hindu mythology, during the 6 months of the sun's southward journey, the god remained asleep. They remain awake during the 6 months when the sun moves northward. So Rama had to awaken the goddess first. This is why the first ritual in Durga Puja is the awakening Bodhan of Durga. This legend is found in the Ramayana in Bengali, written by Krittivas. In some other Puranas, it is mentioned that when Rama wanted to propitiate Devi, it was Brahma who did the awakening. The present day Durga Puja is thus a commemoration of the first Durga Puja performed by Sri Rama. The second legend is about the coming of Devi Uma from her abode in Kailash to the home of her parents Himavat and Menaka. She comes riding a lion. In the Vedas, Uma is first mentioned in the Kena Upanishad, where she is described as Uma Haimavati. It is a popular belief in Bengal that Uma comes and stays with the people for 3 days. A whole set of songs known as Agamani describing the homecoming of Uma has come into existence. These songs are sung during the days preceding Durga Puja. These songs serve to spiritualize Hindu mothers' love and concern for their married daughters. The third legend is about Sati Devi. Although neither Sati nor Uma is mentioned in the Chandi, in the Mool mantra used in Durga Puja, Sri Durga is addressed as Daksha Yagya Vinashini, the destroyer of Daksha's sacrifice. Daksha was one of the Prajapatis or creators of the universe. He had 8 daughters, of whom the eldest was Sati. Against her father's wish, Sati married the great god Shiva, who was an ascetic, wearing matted hair and leading an unconventional life on Mount Kailash. After some years, the roving Rishi Narada reached Kailash and gave the news that Daksha was going to conduct a big sacrifice to which all gods and goddesses were invited except Sati and Shiva. Although uninvited, Sati went to see her father, but Daksha spoke insultingly of Shiva, and unable to bear the insult, Sati fell down dead. Shiva was naturally enraged, and his anger burned to ashes Daksha and his sacrifice, and then Shiva began a dance of destruction. But the gods intervened, and Shiva finally returned to his meditation in Mount Kailash. Sati was reborn as Parvati, who after years of intense tapas got Shiva as her husband once again. The Mool mantra Daksha Yagya Vinashini refers to the destruction of Daksha's sacrifice mentioned above. It is, however, quite obvious that this great mantra has some deeper mystic esoteric meaning far beyond the mythological significance. The most important legend which is central to Durga Puja is about Durga and forms the theme of the Chandi. The word Durga literally means one who protects like a fort, or one who destroys the evil consequences of our actions. Durgati Nashini. In the Chandi, Durga is mostly referred to simply as Devi, the goddess, and occasionally as Ambika. She is an independent supreme goddess, not the consort of any male god. As already mentioned, the Chandi is one of the oldest scriptures on mother worship. It was obviously composed before the sectarian division of Shaivism, Vaishnavism and Shaktism entered Hinduism. Hence Devi is referred to in this book as the power of Vishnu, and also addressed as Narayani repeatedly. Now we will see to the section The History of Durga Puja in Ramakrishna Mission. Durga Puja at Belur Math. I am reading from the page Belur Math official website. Durga Puja was first celebrated at Belur Math in 1901. Since then, Durga Puja has been celebrated at Belur Math year after year, although for a few years after the first celebration in 1901, Pratima worship was not done. In this connection, it should be mentioned that Durga Puja was conducted on a small scale without the image by the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna during the early years of Ramakrishna Math at Baranagar. It was Swami Vivekananda himself who started the first Durga Puja with the image of Belur Math. As a rule, Hindu sannyasins do not conduct this kind of ritualistic worship. Why then did Swamiji start the new tradition? One reason was to gain the acceptance of the local community for the new way of life that Swamiji and his monastic brothers were leading. The Hindu society in Calcutta had not fully accepted Swamiji's going to the West and the rather unconventional ways of life at Belur Math, which included disregard for caste rules and mixing with Western people. As a matter of fact, the celebration of Durga Puja helped to remove much of the misunderstanding and misgivings about the new monastic institution among the local people. Another reason was Swamiji wanted to institutionalize respect for divinity of motherhood and sanctity of womanhood. Swamiji saw that one of the main reasons for the advancement of the Western people was the elevation of women in the West, and one of the main reasons for the backwardness of India was the neglect of women in this country. Worship of the Divine Mother, especially the Kumari Puja, would create the awareness of the potential divinity of women and a respectful attitude towards them. A third reason was supernatural. A few days before Durga Puja in 1901, Swamiji had a vision of Durga Puja being done at Belur Math. More or less at that time, Swami Brahmananda Ji saw in a vision Mother Durga coming across the Ganga from Dakshineshwar to Belur Math. Swamiji asked Raja Maharaj to make the preparations for the Durga Puja immediately, although only a few days were left to begin the puja. The main problem was to get a clay image of worship. Enquiries at Kamatuli The street in Kolkata where artisans make clay images revealed that there was a single beautiful image of Durga in a shop. The person who had ordered it had not turned up, and so the artisan agreed to sell it to the monks. Apart from the image, a lot of other things had to be collected for the elaborate ritualistic worship. Under able direction of Swami Brahmananda ji, everything was done well at short notice. The first Durga Puja at Belur Math was conducted in a huge pandal decorative shed on the open ground to the north of the old shrine. The invocatory worship on Shashti, the sixth day of the lunar month, was on 18th October 1901. The pujari was Brahmachari Krishnalal and the Tantradharak was Ishwar Chandra Chakraborty, the father of Shoshi Maharaj. Sitting under the bel tree, which now stands in front of his temple, Swamiji sang Agamani songs welcoming the Divine Mother. The householder disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, an orthodox Brahmin of nearby area, had been specially invited, and thousands of people, irrespective of the distinctions of the caste or religion, attended the 3-day festival. On the night of Navami, Swamiji sang many songs in praise of Divine Mother, some of which used to be sung by Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother and Durga Puja. When Swamiji decided to celebrate Durga Puja at Belur Math, one of the first things he did was to seek the approval of Holy Mother Sharada Devi, who was then staying at Bagh Bazar in Kolkata. Swami Premanando went to Mother, and Mother wholeheartedly approved the proposal. On Sati Day, she came with the other women devotees and stayed at Babu's garden house nearby. Mother attended the awakening ceremony that day and attended the puja on all the 3 subsequent days. Since sannyasins cannot undertake this kind of ritualistic worship, Swamiji decreed the puja should be done in the name of Holy Mother. This became a tradition which continues to this day. Swamiji looked upon Sri Sharada Devi as the divine counterpart of Sri Ramakrishna, born for the awakening of women in the modern world. In a letter to Swami Shivananda written in 1894 from America, Swamiji had given expression to his conviction about the divinity of Holy Mother as follows: Brother, I shall show how to worship the living Durga, Jivanta Durga, and then only shall I be worthy of my name. I shall be relieved when you have purchased a plot of land and established there the living Durga, the mother, that is Sri Sharada Devi. The presence of Holy Mother, the living Durga, during the puja must have been given boundless joy and satisfaction to Swamiji, disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. Holy Mother attended the Durga Puja at Belur Math in 1912 and in 1916, and perhaps in some other years also. Each time Mother stayed for a few days and blessed her monastic and lay children. We have seen in short the importance of Durga Puja in our lives and in our society, and why Swami Vivekananda started celebrating Durga Puja at Belur Math, and in later times in most Ramakrishna mission centers. They worship Durga Puja, they celebrate to bring back the hidden divinity within all of us and the love of mother, that is motherhood, to awaken the motherhood within all of us. This was the main spirit of Swamiji in celebrating Durga Puja. Thank you very much. May all of you enjoy this coming Durga Puja, and our only prayer to Thakur and Swamiji that we get awakened and the true spirit of Ma Durga get awakened within all of us. Thank you.